Hello, Speak for Yourself listeners. This is Skip Bayless. Weekdays on Undisputed, I debate my co-host Shannon Sharp on the biggest sports news of the day. But now it is time for me to unleash in a brand new way. Introducing the Skip Bayless Show. My opportunity to share behind-the-scenes stories about things I've seen and confrontations I've had from decades covering the NFL and NBA. This is an opportunity to go so much deeper into solo opinions that just don't fit in rapid-fire debate. I will respond to your no-holds-barred questions. You can ask me anything about why I've said what I've said, or about what goes on off-camera on Undisputed. Your question should be as provocative as you want. My answer sure will be. New episodes of The Skip Bayless Show will come out each week. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Speak for Yourself, Marcellus Wiley and Emmanuel Acho, my brother from another time for our top story. Brought to you by Popeye's new Ocho Piece Nuggets. I'll take 8 of them. And the Rams, had everything going well last night. Right here in Lala. My boy Acho was in the building. I saw him give you a shout out. Jumping out to a 28-0 lead against the Cardinals and never looked back. Matthew Stafford had 3 total touchdowns for his first career playoff win. Clap that up, L.A. And the defense held Kyler Murray to under 150 total yards and added a pick 6 for 6 inches. So, Acho, are the Rams the scariest team in the NFC?
Absolutely. To me, Rams are by far the scariest team in the NFC because we saw firsthand when the Rams fully activate, which they finally did, all of a sudden, it does not appear that they can be beat, or they will be a very, very, very tough out. The Rams, we remember, had acquired Von Miller. They've acquired Odell Beckham. They acquired Matthew Stafford. The Rams, in my mind, are this year's version of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. Remember, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year's Super Bowl, Gronk scored twice, offseason acquisition. AB scored, offseason acquisition. Leonard Fournette scored, in-season acquisition. Yesterday, Rams game, Odell Beckham scored, in-season acquisition. Matthew Stafford scored that second play, in-season acquisition, that second touchdown. And you got big-time plays from the likes of Von Miller, incredible pressure. Kyler Murray never got comfortable. The Rams are this year's version of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Question is simply, can they execute at the highest level and go ahead and win the Super Bowl? Last year, Bucs started 7-5 through 12 weeks. This year, Rams started 7-4 through 12 weeks. Right. Rams are since 5-1. They'd have to go 9-1 to win the Super Bowl. Bucs went 8-0 to win the Super Bowl. For me, I'm looking at these Rams and I'm like, okay, you are the one team that's the most talented team. I'll break it down like this very simply.
Let's go.
The Rams have 3 surefire Hall of Famers and maybe a 4th.
Okay.
Only team in the NFC left that has that many Hall of Famers, and we're not talking about way past their prime Hall of Famers. We're talking about, like, still in the midst of it. Aaron Donald, surefire Hall of Famer. Von Miller, surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. Jalen Ramsey, fairly sure Hall of Famer. Then Matthew Stafford, if the Rams were to go on to win, you can go ahead and pencil him into the Hall. Packers got Rodgers and Adams. Maybe Adams a Hall of Famer, but Adams is a dog nonetheless. Bucks, without AB, they got Gronk. They got Brady. Maybe they got Mike Evans. And the Niners are just the Niners, a very well-coached football team. So with that being said, just off the nature of the top tier of the Rams' talent, 4 Hall of Famers, 3 guaranteed, and Matthew Stafford at the quarterback position, they are the scariest team in the National Football League, at least in the NFC, for sure.
They are not the scariest team in the NFC. Oh, Acho, this is why you shouldn't go to games. Because I think the price of admission going to games, look, I'm a Chargers season ticket holder. Then I come back on this show and say Justin Herbert's the best quarterback ever, because that's the price of admission. You get all of a sudden hypnotized by what you see in that experience. I need you to keep perspective, Acho. Remember, the Rams have to go out there and play now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, let me put some respect on their name. The Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers that are a better version this year than they were last year when they won the championship. Acho, tremendous take right there for those who are supporting you and supporting the Los Angeles Rams. You went to school on them. And I remember in school, you had your paragraph and your paragraph structure. You start off with a topic sentence, right? Then you got to hit them with some supporting sentences. And then finally that concluding sentence that wraps it all up. But not Acho. Acho went to a different school, St. Mark's, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at St. Mark's, they start with the concluding sentence. Oh, they're the scariest team in the NFC. Then he tried to support it with some BS, but he'd go out there and try to support it. They got Hall of Famers. They got Hall of Famers. And then the topic sentence, which is, are they the scariest team in the NFC? Hell no, because they're not even a scarier team of who they're going to face going forward. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a better total defense, better pass defense, better scoring offense, more takeaways, better total offense, better scoring defense. I could keep going, but I think I'm getting a little boring up here talking about how much better the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are than the Rams. Now, I know what you're going to counter with. Well, they played earlier, and who won that matchup? Oh, right here, it jumps out. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But we're going to have this argument a lot today. Well, they're a different team than they were then. Yes, the Los Angeles Rams are a different team, as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But when I look at the Rams versus all the remaining teams left, and I look at their record versus all the other 7 teams against the remaining teams, you know who has the worst record of all? The Los Angeles Rams. 1 win over those Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that the leading rusher was Tom Brady in that game. Tom Brady was the leading rusher. Your team, 1-4, is now the scariest team left in the NFC. Where they do that at when you have no real supporting
I got you. I got you very simply. I anticipated this. Scariest doesn't necessarily mean to me what will you do. Scariest does not necessarily mean to me what have you done.
Okay.
Scariest to me is what can you do? And there's a monumental difference. A lion is the scariest animal to me. Now, hippos kill more people annually than lions do.
Hungry hippos.
500 people a year.
Okay.
Snakes kill more people annually than a lion does. A lion only kills 100 people annually, but I know what a lion can do if I were to be there in the jungle. It's not what lions have done. They don't kill as many people as hippos. It's not what lions will do, but what can they do? So when I'm thinking about these Rams, so I don't think so much that what have they done. That's not what dictates the fear of the Los Angeles Rams. I don't even know what will they do, because I don't know if they will show up against the Bucs. And if you beat the Bucs, will you show up against the likely Packers, that opponent you're more than likely to face? But I know what you can do, because we saw what Odell Beckham could do last night, high pointing the ball, touchdown. We saw what Matthew Stafford could do. I believe 4 incompletions, 2 touchdown passes yesterday. We saw what Cam Akers could do, 5.5 months removed from an Achilles injury. We saw what Aaron Donald could do, pass rushing galore. We saw what Von Miller could do. So the Rams are the scariest, not because of what they have done and not because of what they will do, but I know what these Rams are capable of doing. Just like on the AFC side, I admitted what your Buffalo Bills are capable of doing. We know the Buffalo Bills have lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes.
We know the Buffalo Bills have had some ugly losses. Bills aren't the scariest to me because what they've done. But, I know what they're capable of, like a lion in a jungle. I know what they're capable of, Bingo.
You kept saying hippo, and it just kept getting. MJ loves hippos. I don't know what's going on. My daughter loves rhinos. Are rhinos on the list anywhere? No, obviously not, because you are sitting up here.
Rhinos nearly extinct?
Are they?
I know,
not at the LA Zoo. There's a couple too. I seen one. All right, here we go. Acho, let's have a little fun up here. Fill in the blank. You ever had a test like that? You did, huh?
The riskiest ones.
Oh, yeah, it was. Those are easy tests, too, so you went to an easy school. All right, here we go. Never had a test like this. You, as a team, go as far as your blank.
Weakest link.
That ain't a blank. That's blanks.
Quarterback.
Quarterback can take you, right?
That's why I failed.
Weakest link. She like, oh, my God, where's Sam? Sam, get your brother. What the hell? Weakest link. All right. You go as far as your quarterback can take you. You know that, right?
That's true.
And last night, I saw Matthew Stafford out there on a tricycle. Or, I won't even insult him. It's his first playoff win. Congratulations, Matthew Stafford. You were on a bicycle with training wheels. You know that he went out there and threw the football 17 times. I had to go back and look at Jared Goff's playoff record. Say, ain't no way that Matthew Stafford went out there and threw the ball fewer times than Jared Goff. You know that Jared Goff had never, ever thrown fewer attempts than 17 in any playoff game? Matter of fact, his first playoff game, guess how many times he threw it? 45 times. You trying to tell me that Sean McVay, when he had Jared Goff, trusted him 3 times more than he did Matthew Stafford?
It's a logical fallacy, Stel. Don't do this to America.
Why they ain't gonna catch it? That's on you, America. I'm up here trying to win arguments. Here's the thing. No, it's not. Oh, game plan. Oh, it's game plan specific. Jared Goff, in all of his 6 playoff appearances, to the tune of even one of them, he didn't even start. John Wolford reserve out there, double shot, is starting. Jared Goff never got down to 17 fewer attempts. Even when Sean McVay mentally already checked out on Jared Goff, said he out of town, he never put the training wheels on him like that. Why am I bringing that up? Because if you go as far as your quarterback goes, and now you got to go against the GOAT in Tampa Bay this week, where are they going? They don't trust Matthew Stafford. That was a game where psychologically you saw Sean McVay try to take care of his quarterback. Why is that bad? You got a running back with 1 Achilles, and now you got an arm cannon, super talent at the quarterback position, but he's the one that needs training wheels? If you look at this team psychologically, when they go against the Bucks, the champions, and the GOAT, you can't win that game in training wheels.
You're reaching, big dog. You are reaching.
Oh,
Matthew Stafford may have training wheels, but it was not dictated on last night's game.
What you mean?
They're up 28-0 at halftime. That's why you don't pass the ball. You know that better than anybody in the National Football League.
17.
You've been in those games where, hey, if you getting blown out in the second half, all you're doing, you ain't.
Jared Goff had blowouts, and he still threw for more than 17.
28-0 at halftime. I don't think Goff.
I don't know about that. I ain't gonna do that much research right now on the fly. I ain't doing that much. All right,
so with that being said,
what?
Stafford might have training wheels. I do not think so, but I know I can't judge based off last game. Last night's game was a sheer and utter blowout that the Rams were in control of the entirety of the time. Okay. Here's why to me Rams are scary as hell.
Let's go.
If Von Miller decides to activate, you know Von Miller is a 20-sack type of guy.
Twitchy.
Aaron Donald is a 20-sack type of guy. Odell Beckham is a 1,400 caliber receiver. Cooper Kupp is a 2,000-yard receiver. Matthew Stafford is a 5,000-yard passer. If the Rams decide to fully activate, and I didn't even mention Jalen Ramsey, who gonna stop him, huh? I mean, because you look at the Packers, and the Packers, you say, man, but they got Devontae Adams. Great, they got Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, but they got A.J. Dillon. Okay, cool. They have Aaron Donald. When you look at the Buccaneers, without A.B., without Chris Godwin, they got Mike Evans. Jalen Ramsey, great eraser. Erase Mike Evans. Now who else you got? Leonard Fournette, because he's been banged up. Who else you got? Gronk?
Oh, playoff Lenny? Playoff Lenny back?
Playoff Lenny ain't played last week.
He have to. We resting up for when it matters most, when we go against these Rams. Hold on, dog. Y'all trying to bring a skateboard to a scooter race. You ever seen that before? Hey, and y'all got training wheels on? Training wheels on the skateboard? How is that gonna work? You try to give me the perfect game. The perfect game. Well, y'all got Hall of Famers. The Buccaneers got Hall of Famers too. Don't make them Hall of Famers that actually have results with their success versus y'all who are like, hypothetically, this all could add up. How many rings, Matthew Stafford? How many rings? Oh, they both just won their first playoff game. And you know about how experience brings comfort.
That's true.
So Kyler Murray loses in his first playoff game in part because he didn't have Hopkins. So now he's going out there and he's handicapped. They lose that game in part because of a lack of experience. Now you take these Rams that they have experience, but not the same level of experience as the Super Bowl champions. So what's going to happen when Hall of Famers meet Hall of Famers and these Hall of Famers have experience and results? Fireworks, but who going to get burnt up?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Here's what we know, and let me ask you this. The Rams have the more talented team without AB on the Bucks, without Godwin on the Bucks, and with Leonard Fournette hampered on the Bucks. The Rams have a more talented team than the Bucks. So if the Rams got a more talented team than the Bucks, Rams fully activate, Bucks fully activate, you got to go to the team with more talent. Now, the Rams are on a short week, and the Rams got to travel. So if we want to put that in the Rams' defense or put that as a issue for the Rams, I get all that. But you can't look at this Rams roster. Van Jefferson, who balled yesterday, Cooper Kupp, plus Odell Beckham, plus their running back is back, plus Stafford, plus Ramsey, plus Donald, plus Floyd, plus Vaughn. You can't look at that team and be like, oh, Bucks got this one in the bag. No, sir, big dog.
Well,
no, sir.
Yes, I can, because you're making the Dallas Cowboys argument, but you're not making it for the Dallas Cowboys. They're the more talented team. Where are they right now? I don't know, scattered around the world on their vacation. And you look at this Rams team, more talented potentially than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I would say the Cowboys were more talented than the San Francisco 49ers. How that turned out, it's because it's about not just being responsible, but being accountable. This is something Judge Joe Brown said. I like Judge Joe Brown. I can't wait till I get to that age, boy. Woo, you think I'm unfiltered now. Wait till I get older. I'm going to talk some noise like him. He said, man, I'm tired of people saying be all that you can be instead of be all that you should be. And I didn't catch it at first. I was like, can and should, is that really a big difference? But there is a difference in level of tier of responsibility. What you should do, not what you can do. Because if you don't do it, then you're like, well, I'm sorry, I can't right now. I can next time. But when you talk about a should team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they knew they had all that Hall of Fame potential. And they knew that they should put it all together with the GOAT steering the pot. And you want to talk talent in a game where the GOAT, Tom Brady, is never the most talented quarterback, at least in the way that we measure talent.
Of course.
But he's always the one that produces the most results. I think that he is just an example of what these Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to do to the scariest team in the NFC. Coming up, there could be two of the best teams in the NFL. We'll tell you who should be scared of who. It's the Bills versus the Chiefs. Mafia, Chiefdom. But first, Cowboys season is over. Tell you why they should stick with Big Mike McCarthy next on Speak. We are.
Cowboys season is over after Sunday's loss to the 49ers, and a lot of attention shifted to head coach Mike McCarthy, because his future with the team is a little bit uncertain. But yesterday, Cowboys exec Stephen Jones said he was, quote, very confident Mike McCarthy would be back next season. So, if Stephen Jones, one of the highest-ranking officials on the team, is very confident McCarthy will be back, why should the Cowboys stick with Mike McCarthy?
Why not stick with Mike McCarthy? I don't even like what this question is implying. Like there's more of a movement that, Mike McCarthy should go, instead of the movement of we should appreciate Mike McCarthy for who he is. Get on a roller coaster ride with Mike McCarthy. Trust me, you're going to enjoy the ride. If you guys are not historians of the game, obviously you're not going to have proper perspective and you're not going to know who Mike McCarthy is. We all know that he was the coach in Green Bay and he had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And everyone's like, why you only have 1 ring? Well, I'm going to look at Mike McCarthy and give him his full respect and give you this understanding. It took Tony Dungy, a great coach himself, 5 years to get a ring with the Peyton Manning. And before you even start to retort, it wasn't the baby infant Peyton Manning when Tony Dungy got him. He didn't get him from hello. And you look at that, all of a sudden, would you have jumped off of that ride with Tony Dungy and Peyton Manning? Oh, of course not. Why? Because they're so likable. Now, Mike McCarthy doesn't find himself in that same category of likability. So now, all of a sudden, we don't respect him objectively as we should. Oh, Big Mike, I got your back, big dog. Let's talk about his 5th year in Green Bay. He got that championship with that Hall of Fame quarterback. Now he's in Dallas. And let's just say right now the trajectory for Dak Prescott is probably won't make the Hall of Fame, fall just short. But I don't know. I'm seeing Dak Prescott improve every single year with Mike McCarthy. But instead of talking about should we or should we not keep Mike McCarthy, let's bring up some other names that should obviously be in priority in terms of their job security. Let's start with Ezekiel Elliott. I want to start with the lean, mean, now I can see my abs again. First of all, if you young in your prime, you lose your abs to get them back, that's already a problem. What the hell wrong with you? I didn't lose my abs till yesterday. And he losing his abs, he's still playing? What the? And you play running back? I was a DN with abs. What the? Boy, stop. Anyway, they gave him his money, he got his money, and boy, he took his money and ran. But he ain't running the ball between the white lines, but he took his money and ran. Ezekiel Elliott needs to be in this conversation before Mike McCarthy. Kellen Moore, who had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, taking all these hires by Zoom. He doing interviews by Zoom. I know he is because he called one of the worst games I've seen. You didn't even commit to the running game. I don't care what you're doing when you're going against the 49ers. You got to commit to give the threat of balance. Kellen Moore, bring you up in terms of job security before Mike McCarthy. And Dan Quinn, now everybody like, look at the defense, got much better. Oh, you got to be Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn? Respect to Dan Quinn because he did something with this defense. But let's look at Dan Quinn as a head coach since you want to take shots at the Super Bowl winning head coach Mike McCarthy. Dan Quinn has more losing seasons than winning seasons as a head coach. Oh, no, he's different now. Oh, you're going to teach an old dog new tricks. Why don't you just stick with the old dog with the ring? And that's Mike McCarthy, big dog. please do not go against me on this one. As you say, I'm ready for it. I'm warmed up, and I'm about to go. That's the Achoism.
The Cowboys shouldn't stick with Mike McCarthy.
They shouldn't?
No, you know this, Sal. However, the only reason you should stick with Mike McCarthy if you are the Dallas Cowboys is because you have the ultimate puppet in Mike McCarthy, and you have a master puppeteer in Jerry Jones. Mike McCarthy is the ultimate puppet. Why do I say this? Yeah. Mike McCarthy is not calling the offensive plays.
Okay.
It's Kellen Moore. Mike McCarthy is not calling the defensive plays. That's Dan Quinn. Mike McCarthy is not drafting players. That's Jerry Jones and Will McClay. Mike McCarthy is not cutting players. That's Jerry Jones. So what exactly is Mike McCarthy doing? Exactly what Jerry Jones tells him to do.
Damn.
The ultimate puppet in Mike McCarthy. And why is Mike McCarthy the ultimate puppet? Because he has a Super Bowl title. So clearly he can coach, right?
Hell
He's a
yeah.
Super Bowl champion, head coach. That's what people are led to believe. So now he's an even greater puppet than the likes of Jason Garrett. Because Jason Garrett, you could shoot at. No Super Bowl title to his name. But Mike McCarthy, he's above reproach. He's won a chip.
Yeah.
The ultimate puppet is Mike McCarthy, and that is why you would keep Mike McCarthy. But Mike McCarthy ain't really doing all that much.
They do it.
Ain't calling no plays offensively. Ain't calling no plays defensively. He ain't hiring and he ain't firing. So he is just there taking up space. What do we call those players?
What?
We call players who take up space hamburger eaters. That's what we call them. Because all they do is travel on the road trips and they eat the food, but they don't play on the game.
Say names and numbers.
Hamburger eaters. Mike McCarthy, I'm not going to call him a hamburger eater.
Why you bringing up food and Mike McCarthy?
We live in a politicized society.
That's politicized.
But Mike McCarthy is truly just taking up space on this Cowboys sideline.
I can't do this.
Cowboys don't need to stick with Mike McCarthy, but if they were going to, it's because he's the ultimate puppet, and Jerry Jones a phenomenal puppeteer.
Wow. I feel all the puppet, the whole string thing. That was cute. That's cute. Is Pete Carroll a puppet?
No, but he has hiring and firing power.
Yeah, and how's that turning out right now?
He got a Super Bowl.
Hold on, I knew I was going to get you. Go, Wiley. You put him right with it?
No, you
don't you dare. You are a younger brother for real.
Marcellus just tried to say one. You let me finish my
What do you mean? Come on, a couple of.
Pete Carroll went to a couple of.
Oh, he went to. No, how many he got? You don't get a ring for kind of getting there. AFC Championship, NFC Championship. I'm cutting you off for a reason because I won this point.
A couple of them.
Oh, really?
I give it to you.
Okay, I'll give you somebody who. Okay. Mike Tomlin went to. Okay. And did he get a couple? Is he a puppet? Is he a puppet? Is he calling all? Is he roster construction?
He has some roster power.
What does some mean? Is it half pregnant, all or nothing, brother? Does he have some? What do you mean? He gets vetoed out? He gets overvoted? What are you talking about?
He has a say.
Are they puppets, though?
I'm back in.
You back in? Oh, now yes. All I asked is, are they puppets?
No. They're has a say.
They're in somewhere of the same. Look, I'm sorry that Mike McCarthy's not Will Clay. Sorry. Like, Will Clay been there when I was there. Will was there.
Yes, sir.
And Will McClay, he real, too. Will is like, Jerry gets rooting interest. Jerry wanted me. Bill Parcells didn't want me. Bill Parcells knew, like, Marcellus is done. I don't know what the hell you trying to do. And Jerry's like, no, that name. And he still got something I tell you. And then Will was like, listen to Bill. That's how it works there. Why are you going to mess up with? One thing about the Dallas Cowboys, underachieving as they are, this is still a team that is beautifully built. They have great roster construction. Think about it. All of the talent that they have, and they have the highest paid quarterback, you got to give them credit for that. So Mike McCarthy shouldn't even mess with that because that's something that they have addressed.
Here's my question, Sel. If you're ever going to stick in a relationship, you got to ask yourself, what value am I bringing? But also you got to ask yourself, what value are they bringing, and how much am I going to miss them if they gone? If Mike McCarthy is gone, oh, man, who's going to call the Cowboys plays? Oh, wait, he didn't do that. If Mike McCarthy's gone, dang it, who's going to call the Cowboys defensive plays? Oh, wait, he didn't do that. If Mike McCarthy's gone, man, but who drafted all these phenomenal players? Oh, wait, he didn't do that. So if Mike McCarthy's gone, what we going to miss?
All right.
A rah-rah speech
what do you mean?
Star Wars, training camp?
You act like Mike McCarthy wouldn't call the plays. Like Mike McCarthy gave that up in respect to the situation.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Puppeteer said, hey, puppet, you not calling plays. He said, hey, puppet, you're firing your defensive coordinator and you're going to hire who I want. Hey, puppet.
Okay,
We're keeping Kellen Moore.
Okay, I'm not even going to diss puppets because they probably got a group too as well, and they need their rights, puppet rights. I ain't going to go up here and talk bad about puppets. Tell me if this is a puppet. Mike McCarthy has led teams to #1 scoring offense 3 times in his career. Top 10 scoring offense 10 of 12 times in his career. Kyle Shanahan, the genius, hasn't even done that. Kyle Shanahan, the genius, has never done that. But all of a sudden, he's the genius, and Mike McCarthy, who sits there with an actual ring taking up space, being a puppet, is not getting the same respect as all those guys. And here's the one thing. If you look at offensive, defensive coordinators in Seattle, Shane Waldron's calling plays, but Pete Carroll's got the roster. A roster that people say has a lot of holes and flaws in it to the tune that their starting franchise quarterback doesn't want to be there. Ken Norton calling the defense, and I thought that was Pete Carroll's thing, but he's letting Ken Norton do it. It's not about being a puppet or puppeteer. It's about true power is in delegation. You letting others do their jobs so that it all comes together.
Great, but Mike McCarthy don't even delegate.
What you mean?
Jerry do that. Mike McCarthy didn't say, hey, I want you, defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. No, Jerry did that. Mike McCarthy didn't say, hey, I want you, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. Jerry did that. Mike McCarthy don't even choose his own staff. What does he do, big dog? Choose the outfits? Choose the socks? Choose the hand towels? Choose the hand warmers? Mike McCarthy didn't even hire his staff, let alone hire the players, let alone hire the plays. He just there taking up space. Okay. So when it's time to shoot, we got to shoot at Mike instead of shooting at Jerry. That's all Mike McCarthy is. Mike McCarthy is the rabbit. We track and field, 12:29.
Already?
Track and field.
Let's go.
When I first started watching Track Meets America, and I'm going to help y'all make something clear that you might be confused about, I would watch track meets, and I would watch these athletes go around the track 4 times. But there was always one individual who was only going around the track twice, and then they would step off. It was the most baffling thing to me, Sal. I'm like, hey, why is somebody only running 2 laps and everybody else is running 4? Finally, after watching several meets, I looked to my friends, and I was like, yo, what is this person doing? And they said, oh, that's the rabbit. The rabbit? What's a rabbit? A rabbit is somebody who runs in front of everybody to do one of 2 things. A, set the pace, or B, eat up the wind. So as the wind is coming, rather than hitting the first athlete, it hits the rabbit. And the rabbit is breaking the wind, so the first athlete doesn't have to deal with the wind. The rabbit has to take all of the wind and let the first athlete run. Okay. Mike McCarthy is simply the Dallas Cowboys rabbit. Because rather than Jerry Jones dealing with the heat, Kellen Moore dealing with the heat, Dan Quinn dealing with the heat is coming onto the rabbit, which is Mike McCarthy, and everybody else just gets to draft off of him. He is a phenomenal rabbit, but by no means is he actually contributing to the race of the Dallas Cowboys towards the Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy is just sitting there breaking the wind so everybody else can draft off of him. Make no mistakes, though, Mike McCarthy ain't contributing to these Dallas Cowboys in a positive way. He's just a rabbit, and everybody else is drafting.
Wow. Ooh, I don't know where you're from in the country. That's a big-ass rabbit. With a lot of good meat on that rabbit. Oh, man. Acho. I don't know how to drive this point home to you.
Don't. You don't have to.
But there is one person in that room, in that team meeting, that actually has a ring. Think about it. And it's Mike McCarthy. So, Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn, you had your chances. Kellen Moore, you're going to get your chances. But y'all need a tour guide to get there? It's me, big dog. Okay, look at the players. Oh, yeah, all the players got ring. Oh, wait a minute. 23 players on the active roster were born after the Cowboys got their last ring. Like, these dudes don't even know Cowboys greatness. Like, half the damn team, like, I keep hearing how great we are, where we at. They don't even understand that. But Mike McCarthy is going to remind them what the actual goal is. Instead of this hypothetical, some theory out there that Kellen Moore one day will be it, or Dan Quinn resurrected will do it next time. Why don't you just stick with what's working? Why don't you stick with a coach that is 6 among active head coaches and wins? 6 and is only one of 8 with a ring. Do you respect this thing?
I don't respect claiming that Mike McCarthy has a ring. Why? Because to continue to claim that Mike McCarthy has a ring is to believe he can get you back there. Here's the problem. The location has changed.
Yes.
So, you've gone shopping before, I've gone shopping before. One of the most complex things is when you go to a location that you think is still there and you pull up to the store and all you see is that it's boarded. and you realize the location has changed. Problem, you don't know how to get to the new location.
Is this Rome again?
No, this is no longer Rome.
Okay.
Beverly Hills, Chanel store.
My dog. Oh, yeah, they did move it on Wilshire.
Yeah.
And then they got a long line of tourists. What the hell y'all doing? I'm going to Channel store. I ain't going to Chanel no more. I'm going to the
Beverly Hills,
Where that at?
Chanel store.
Yeah, they kicked me like that.
You pull up to it and you realize, the location has changed. When a location's changed, it does not matter that you knew how to get to the old location. Do you know how to get to the new location? Mike McCarthy knew how to get to the old location of the Super Bowl. But the location has changed.
Okay.
So Mike McCarthy no longer knows how to get to a Super Bowl. Okay. He knew how to get there past tense, but he don't know how to get there anymore. Stop clinging to that glimmer of hope of he knew how to get there. The location has changed, and now Mike McCarthy is standing out front at a Super Bowl store looking at it boarded up, wondering where to go next. But the fact of the matter is, the location has changed.
Really? Oh, wow. Someone told me that he won a Super Bowl, and the location was Jerry's World. Damn. That's some irony. There go that take. Chanel on Rodeo or Channel on Rodeo? You don't even know about rodeo. Get to the hood sometimes in my life. All I got to say to this is, who won the Super Bowl last year as a head coach? Kind of big, too. Bruce Arians. I remember they were saying this.
He's skinny now.
Yeah, well, been left there. But here's the thing. Right. What did they say about Bruce Arians? Oh, before he even won one. It's time to get off of that roller coaster. Enough. He's never going to accomplish it. You said that about a guy who actually accomplished it. And now we're talking about a guy who we ain't even got to guess. We ain't even got to ask. We don't need to know the location. We already know what he has. He has the bag on him. Chanel's, Channel, Rodeo. Get to the hood. Coming up, two of the two AFC powerhouses battling Sunday. 2 of the 2? What the hell? We'll tell you who should be scared of who in the Bills-Chiefs matchup. Y'all thought we was hot then. We about to go at it now.
Yo, that Chanel change got me, though.
Oh, it got me, too, in that line. I didn't want to say who was in that line. Get out the Thursday night on FS1. It's a huge night of college hoops. There it is, featuring some of the top teams in the country. Purdue takes on Indiana, 7 Eastern. Then at 11, UCLA, fight, battles Utah. All tips off Thursday. FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Let's get to a topic we started yesterday on my Bills. Buffalo took care of business against KC back in October. Now they're facing each other in the divisional round on Sunday. Chiefs are favored by 2 points at home. According to Fox Bet Sportsbook. So, Acho, who should be scared of who in the Bills-Chiefs matchup?
I love this one. You got the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I got the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We got some matchups this week. The Bills should be scared of the Chiefs. And in all honesty, boy, it's one of them, both teams got fright of each other. It's one of those, like, game of chicken, like, somebody's going to get knocked out. I don't know who, but somebody's going to get knocked out. There are rare occasions. I remember my senior year, my senior night on a football field where I was like, somebody is not getting up from this tackle. That was my goal. Either I'm going to knock you out or I'm going to knock myself out.
And this is Mr. Texas talking, right? Yeah.
There were rare occasions where I was like, my goal of this hit is for somebody to not get up.
Damn.
And that's what is going to happen in this Bills-Chiefs game. It's one of those, figuratively speaking, obviously. In this game, both people need to be afraid. But for me, the Bills need to be afraid.
Okay.
Anything that the Bills can do, the Chiefs can do better. Bills got all pro safeties back there. Okay, bet. Ty Matthew. Bills got a quarterback that threw for 5 touchdown passes. My goodness. Okay, Patrick Mahomes did it in 11 and a half minutes of game time. Bills got some wide receivers out there. Stephon Diggs, Knox. Okay, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Anything that the Bills can do, the Chiefs can do even better. Bills got a good head coach. Chiefs got Andy Reid. So Bills got Brian Daboll, offensive coordinator. Chiefs got Eric Bieniemy. Anything that the Bills got, Chiefs got, and some. So as I look at it, man, Bills, they scary, but they also got to be afraid because the big trump card for me, Marcellus Wiley, Bills got 5 players that have been to a Super Bowl. The Chiefs got, I believe, 35 players that have been to a Super Bowl. Bills got 1 that have won a Super Bowl in Emmanuel Sanders, and the Chiefs have 22 players on their roster that have won a Super Bowl. So when the push comes to shove and experience is the final determining factor, you got to go with the Chiefs.
You got to go with the Chiefs. Sound like Vegas not really going with the Chiefs.
Well, Vegas got it down.
I mean, if you at home and you only got a 2-point favor, I thought you get 3 when you Vegas trying to whisper to you. The universe whispers before it yells, and they about to start yelling, Bills Mafia. Tables will be cracked.
Yes.
In Arrowhead Stadium. Oh, my God, I can't wait for this one. Oh, my God. Let me get my take out first because it's interesting you bring up this titan of a matchup. I'm talking about Clash of the Titans. Takes me back to the days where, let's say I was single, had a little money and loved to mingle, okay? This is some old Tyson Holyfield days. You remember those matchups? Mike Tyson's supposed to beat Holyfield at least once, but at least the first time. Mike Tyson? Holyfield different, big dog. These Buffalo Bills are different, big dog. You know they already faced each other right now. This year, right? It was a beatdown. Buffalo beat them. More importantly, everyone's going to just counter with, well, the Chiefs are better now than they were then. Guess what? The Bills are as well. Woo! Only team in the league ranked top 3 in points per game scored and points per game allowed on defense. That's the Buffalo Bills. The highest of highs of any team in the league this year are the Buffalo Bills. Highest point differential. Back in Vegas again, the Buffalo Bills won 11 games this year by 10 points or more. Second closest, only 8. I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills simply as this. Josh Allen has reminded us that he is the most talented at the position. So now you start to look at it, and I know we're going to play this game, this chess match of who's better at the positions, but let's start at the most important position. Josh Allen is just like Patrick Mahomes, except he's bigger, he has a better arm, and he's faster. Huh? I thought Patrick Mahomes had gone off the charts. You know, when you take MJ to the pediatrician, they're like, there's 99 percenters and then there's MJ. What the hell is this little dude doing? He's off the charts. Josh Allen saw Patrick Mahomes at 99% and said, let me go off the charts. And now they're fully activated. We talk about a team that didn't have to punt the entire game against Bill Belichick. 7 straight touchdown drives on Bill Belichick. Hey, big dog, Vegas already whispered. Now I'm going to yell it. It's Bills Mafia, bro.
It's going to be, it's going to be a game. I think Josh Allen, obviously, we know he's faster. We know he's bigger. Better arm. That's still tough, but you might have to lean Josh Allen. But
he doing that in the cold and the wind.
You know, it's all about the mind that puts everything together. The mind is what synthesizes all of the information and tells what body part to do what and when to do it. And as it stands right now, Josh Allen spazzes. Patrick Mahomes does not spaz. Yeah. So who has the better processor as it stands right now? Patrick Mahomes. And he can process everything that he needs to. When I look at it, who's playing better right now? I think equally good. But who's...
Don't do that. One play the 7th seed and one play Bill Belichick. Don't do that.
Who is more likely to stumble? If I were to tell you, Sel, that hey, one team played bad.
Yeah.
The team more likely to play bad, the Bills.
Chiefs.
The last 11 weeks of the season, the Chiefs lost 1 game. In that same time period, the Bills have lost 4 games, including losses to the Jaguars, et cetera. You watch all the Bills games, so you know better than I. I don't even have to tell you.
Yuck.
It's not just about what you can do at your best. What can and what will you do at your worst? At their best, I think the Bills are a better team than the Chiefs. The Bills.
Hold on, can we slow that down? Rewind, select.
At their best, I think the Bills are a better team than the
Coming up.
Keep going. Yeah, there's no guarantee the Bills are going to play their best. They did against the Patriots. No guarantee it happens on Saturday or Sunday whenever these two teams match up. Here's what people aren't talking about. The Bills beating the Chiefs earlier in the season is likely the worst thing to happen to the Bills.
I hate when people do this. All your success is going to be used against you. What? Go.
Why? One, the Chiefs, we know this much. They're not going in confident. They're not going in cocky.
Yes, good point.
They're not going in cocky. The Chiefs are not going to go in feeling themselves like they did last year in the Super Bowl. Man, we've been here before. Because the Bills have beat them. So they're not going in cocky. Who might go in cocky or at least overconfident is the Bills. Because the Bills not only beat them, they spanked them.
Yeah.
So if you already want to talk about that mental edge, Chiefs. Because Chiefs aren't going in feeling themselves. Then counter, you know you coach yourself harder after a loss than you do a win. It's just natural inclination of mankind. So the Chiefs are going to be coached harder in preparation for this game than the Bills, more than likely, because of natural inclination of human tendencies. The worst thing that probably happened to the Bills is the fact that they already beat the Chiefs early on in the season.
Tremendous. And you're right. the psychological warfare that has to exist because there are two scoreboards. One, the points. And two, psychologically, what did it do to you and your team's mentality? The only thing that I would counter that with is the fact that the Bills played the Chiefs when it mattered most last year in the AFC Championship game, same venue. And what happened? They lost that game. So as much as you want to start poking your chest out and like, yo, I got my man bones now because we beat you in the regular season, you already know that there's a cloud just covering you, even in that moment of joy of like, this doesn't matter. This doesn't balance out that they beat us in the AFC Championship game and we beat them in the regular season. But tremendous point. I'm looking at that regular season game and I'm like, as I dissect it, we didn't see a great Patrick Mahomes. We saw 272 passing yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and a 70 passer rating. Mahomes is going to play better. Mm-hmm. We saw a 139 passer rating, 3 touchdowns, no interception from Josh Allen, who I told you is off the charts. So if Josh Allen just keeps pace with last week or last time he played this team and Mahomes picks it up, I don't know if that's going to be enough to close the gap. Raekwon, you a fan of Raekwon? You a fan of the Wu? You a fan of the Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang. Nope, I can tell you. It's okay, Acho. You were only 2 years old when they first came out because I was at Columbia freshman year. I was like, what's all this Wu-Tang talk? Raekwon says something that is really poignant and it really comes home on this topic. He said, you got guns, we got guns too. What up, son? Do you want to son each other and see who sons who? You know what that means? You bring in yours, I'm bringing mine. Let's see what happens in this moment of truth. I'm looking at the Bills. They got more caliber. They got higher weapons. Like, look at the Chiefs' weapons. Tremendous, right? Hall of Famers, Hall of Famers, Hall of Famers. When it activates, are they more than the Buffalo Bills? Right now, this season, you could talk about years past, but years past last year, 35 guys in the Super Bowl. What happened in the Super Bowl? They ain't even score a touchdown. Look at the Buffalo Bills now as they rolling. This team can't be stopped. Even Bill Belichick, the GOAT, couldn't slow them down.
One thought, one question.
What?
There were 6 playoff games thus far. The quarterback that played better in all 6 of those games won. So we can really parse all this down, not to coach once again, not to help once again. It comes down to the quarterback that played better in all of these games. That is the team that won, unless you believe that Dak outplayed Jimmy G, but I believe they both played poorly.
Oh, okay. So outplayed, yes. Not better. So last time they played each other, who outplayed who? Josh Allen. Who had a tougher contest last week to sharpen the knife, get ready, iron sharpens iron? Josh Allen.
What I'm saying is, the quarterback that plays better in this game, Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, that team will win. Mm-hmm. So you believe that Josh Allen will play better than Patrick Mahomes when this game kicks off? Because that's what this all comes down to.
I hope he does. He should.
I didn't say hope.
I hope he should. He should. You know why? Because he's better. Like, if Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes.
No. Just because you have the ability to be better doesn't make you better.
Yeah, until you see what he did last week and you see what he did last time against you.
You believe that Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes? Not more talented, but better.
Yeah, I'm going to break the code. I'm going to break the code and I'm going to get this one. And I hate to do this to you.
You're going to get crushed for this, by the way. If anybody...
Oh, my God. Tweets. Man, I survived snowfall. Bring a tweet, cuz. Here's the thing. I want you to understand this. I'm going to break a code, but I got to do it to win this point. Who would you rather have for the next 5 years? Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes? Say it to the camera.
Patrick Mahomes.
You liar. Off mic, off camera, what did you say?
I was off mic and off camera. Why would I say it on mic and off camera?
I told you I was going to break code. All right, let's stick it with the NFL. Terry Bradshaw still has plenty of cash left. You forgive me, Acho. So Fox Bet Super 6 is bringing back Stack the Cash to give away even more of his money. Scan the QR code, download the Super 6 app, enter the divisional round contest for a free chance at the growing jackpot. Still mad at me, Acho? Then invite your friends because the more people who enter, the bigger the jackpot gets. Acho, hello. Coming up, the Cardinals season ended in a blowout loss last night. We have a lot to say on what happened this year in Arizona. Next, if Ato's still here, my friend, on Speak for Yourself.
Josh Allen ain't better than that. You. Kyler Murray had a forgettable playoff debut last night as the Cardinals were blown out by the Rams. Kyler finished with 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. And after the game, he said, quote, losing is one thing, but when you don't even make it competitive, oh, that's another thing. That's disappointing. Woo. Sal, what do you make of the Cardinals season, man?
I think it was a positive. I think it was a success. I think the Cardinals are on their way. You got to remember, not only just within this season and the roller coaster ride, starting off 10-2 and then losing 5 of your last 6, and obviously we saw last night's performance. Don't let that drown what you should believe in terms of what this team can achieve. What this team can achieve is the ultimate prize. They found themselves a coach. Cliff Kingsbury is really a coach. Kyler Murray is really a quarterback. Cliff Kingsbury was in the Coach of the Year conversation for most of the season. Kyler Murray was in the MVP conversation for most of the season. This team went from 10-2 to last night, in part because of the injuries to J.J. Watt and, more importantly, to DeAndre Hopkins. But this is a team that when they first constructed it in terms of their coach and franchise quarterback, won 5 games, then went to 8 games, now at 11 games. What's the next step? We talked earlier about some of the great coaches that take 5 years or even longer to get their Super Bowl championship. The great Mike McCarthy took 5 years to get his Super Bowl championship. Don't eye roll, please. You won't eye roll on this one. Tony Dungy took 5 years with Peyton Manning to get his championship. Who knows what Kyler Murray's ceiling is? Who knows what Cliff Kingsbury's ceiling is? Because let's be real, they weren't given their proper credit and just before this season. People were saying, blow it up. People were saying, break it up. Some people were saying they didn't even deserve an opportunity. At least the coach didn't in terms of being a head coach in the league. Add it all up, this is a team that is not being microwaved. They are in the oven, slowly cooking. But you know what they're going to cook up? Potentially a championship.
Man, I feel bad for the Cardinals, Sal. That's what I make of the season. I do. I've said this before. I'll say it again. The Cardinals are like that cute person you see from across the street you start to squint at because they look good from far, but they are far from good. And the closer you get to them, you realize, oh, I was tripping. They not that. They not that. And that's what it was with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They look good from far. 7-0 to start the season, but they look far from good. The Cardinals are the West Coast version of the Dallas Cowboys. They have a quarterback that's not properly assessed and maybe overly valued by the public opinion. They have a head coach that's not properly assessed and, again, maybe overly valued by public's opinion. And they have a team that wasn't properly assessed, maybe overly valued by the public's opinion. The Arizona Cardinals leave this season with way more questions than answers.
Really?
Cliff Kingsbury, who is he as a coach? I don't know. We were ready to fire him based on what he had done the first 2 years. But then this past year, can't fire him now. But after looking at that game, he got severely outcoached. And after looking at his track record, he starts hot but finishes cold and hasn't fixed that over the last 10 years as a coach. Arizona this year, 7-0. Finished the season 4-7. Look at him in Arizona the previous 2 years, 15-5-1. Finishes the season 8-20. Look at him when he was at Texas Tech. Prior to that, first 7 games, 27-15. Last 7 games, 8-25. This is now in Cliff Kingsbury's DNA. He ain't changed it in 9 years of coaching. We anticipate he'll change it now. I don't. Okay, let's not look at Cliff Kingsbury anymore. Let's look at his fearless leader in Kyler Murray.
Let's go.
Because Kyler Murray is a Pro Bowler this year. Kyler Murray got to pick up his 5th-year option next year. You got to start to make that decision. But why does Kyler Murray look eerily close to his former teammate at Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield, through 3 years? Astonishing.
Oh, man.
Record, 22-24-1. Baker, 24-23. Yards per attempt, 7.2. Baker, 7.3. Touchdowns, interceptions, 70-38. Baker, 70-36. Baker, 79-44. Passer rating, that's way too close. Now, some people will say, and you should say, well, Kyler can run the ball. I ask, what have running quarterbacks done for you lately? Cam Newton, he could run the ball. He ain't do much for you lately.
Don't say
Lamar
that.
Jackson, you know he can run the ball.
Oh, he hurt.
What has he done for you lately? Kyler Murray, boy, can he run the ball. What has he done for you lately? Stop talking to me about running quarterbacks at least for another year. I don't want to hear about a quarterback that can run at least for another year. Don't mention Josh Allen because he still threw for 4,000 yards. Talk to me about these passers for the foreseeable future, please. So, Sal, what do I make of the Cardinals season? More questions than there are answers, and I think they are the West Coast version of the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, you up here preaching and testifying. Good Lord. Far from good and good from far, huh? Everybody always talk like they got the gun. What about when the rabbit got the gun? Yeah, that ever happened to you? Somebody was like, oh, hey, because you were the one that looked Far from
I
good.
lure them in with my personality.
Oh, really? Ain't nobody ever approached you because of your personality. Let's just start there. Chill. Don't let them lie to you. Okay. Woo! I got to get you now. Okay. Kyler Murray is not Baker Mayfield. Let's just start.
He's not. Of course not.
He's not. And even if they land in the same place,
too close.
They got there two different ways. What I always tell you, there are so many ways to get 15 sacks. So many ways, right? Let me tell you how Baker Mayfield gets his 15 sacks in his 3 years, right? 10, 5, none. You're getting cut like Marcellus Wiley. Okay, now let's talk about Kyler Murray. 0, 5, and 10. Oh, same number. You can put those numbers up and they look the same until you dive deeper into them and realize, oh, they're constructed differently. Let's talk about Cliff Kingsbury as well. First of all, even though it's the offseason, I know he got to be sad. And look, we took our lumps and we needed more experience, and this was a great step in that direction. He gets to go back to that mansion. I don't know. This offseason is going to be very nice for Cliff because that's the best house I've seen on TV. Here's the thing. He inherited a team that was 32nd in scoring on offense. Immediately, 16, 13, 11. He inherited a team that was 32nd in total offense. Immediately, 21, 6, 8. Top 10. Oh. Okay, look at him defensively. Inherited 26th ranked, now 11th ranked. Inherited 20th ranked in total defense, now 11th. Dog, this is trending in a different direction. A lot of times when you get to a place and you're caught and you don't know, it's a fork in the road, and we're going the right way, we're going the wrong way, just ask yourself this simple question. Is the arrow green and pointing up, or is it red and pointing down? You know for these Cardinals, it's green pointing up.
So let's have a nuanced conversation I haven't seen anybody else on television have. Has nothing to do with these notes, so y'all bear with us. I had it in the dressing room earlier.
Okay.
You know this, so I want you to teach me real quick. I think there's a greater chasm now in the NFL than there's ever been between the haves and the have-nots. 2005, 6, 7, 8. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, a little bit. Haves, and then Aaron Rodgers came on later. Brett Favre was going out. But Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they were kind of outliers. If you have them, you know you're good to go. Everybody else, you're just hoping on a prayer. You're just hoping, wishing your defense gets hot. Maybe you have a good streaky season, something like that. But, Sellers, we assess the season now. There are haves. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. We don't know about Deshaun Watson. We don't know about Russell Wilson. Those are the haves. But it appears now, Stel, that about 20% of the league has a guy they know they can win with. Matthew Stafford to be decided. Everybody else is looking for that guy that they can win with. I bring that up because after watching that game last night and really assessing 3 years of Kyler Murray's career, you have to start to ask yourself, is Kyler Murray that guy? Whether as an athlete or more importantly as a leader. Haves and have-nots looking at coaches. Bruce Arians, Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll, maybe he still has the juice, I don't know. You would argue Mike McCarthy, I'm not going to get distracted with that right now. Bill Belichick. But now you got to start to look at your coach and say, is he the guy? Because as long as you stay on a guy that's not the guy, you're just passing time. I don't know if Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury are the dudes. That's my biggest issue right now, Estelle. I watched that game, and you know I told you I was there. I'm looking, and I'm like, this is embarrassing. I don't know if they are the guys. And this isn't the old school NFL where you can just kick back and be like, man, there's only one Tom Brady. There's only one Peyton Manning. Everybody else is just kind of hoping like we are. This is a new NFL. Joe Burrow's popping up on trees. Justin Herbert's popping up on trees. Patrick Mahomes is out there. Josh Allen's from Wyoming. That's why I'm a little worried for the Cardinals because they're stuck with good. But I don't know if good will ever amount to great.
Nuance, tremendous. I'm glad you brought this up. I'm going to talk in totality about the evolution of that position, the quarterback position. But let's start off with an example. Tom Brady, when he didn't have Gronkowski in New England. Tom Brady, when he had just an Edelman who was at the time, 35 years old, jumping on cars in Beverly Hills, just not the same dude, one knee. How did Tom Brady look in New England? Not the same. Good, adequate, yeah, Tom Brady, but we were borrowing from yesteryear in terms of his greatness. And in that moment, even Tom Brady made a conclusion. I need to leave here. The cupboards are bare, right? And that's Tom Brady the Great. All of a sudden, he goes to Tampa Bay. Tom Brady in the MVP conversation may win it this year. Different dude. Why do I bring him up? Because when I look at Kyler Murray, and you were at the game, so you know better than me, did you see DeAndre Hopkins out there?
Yes, sir.
The cupboard looked a little bare in terms of what his impact would have been on Kyler Murray and comfort. In your first playoff game, you don't have your security blanket. You don't have your firepower. But let me talk about the evolution of the quarterback position. Because, boy, it's so funny when I was growing up, when you were big, like this is what my father told me and some historians have shown. When you were big like me, 6'4", 280, you got two choices as an athlete. You were thinking either be the heavyweight champion of the world, and boy, don't be 280, lose some of that weight, or bulk up, steak and potatoes, and play DN, right? All of a sudden, that started to morph into now, oh, you're 6'4", around 280, why don't you lose a couple pounds and play tight end? You can see morphing of positions. Let's talk about the morphing of the quarterback position, where at first, who cares if you can run it at all? Just throw the ball. The fastest thing on the football field is not Deion Sanders, not Barry Sanders, not Tyreek Hill. It's that damn football. Who cares if you can run? And all of a sudden, now we want you to run. Evolution of the quarterback position is now here, since you want to talk nuance. The only thing you could do back in the old days when I played to counter a quarterback is send message moments. Hit their receiver, so all of a sudden they got alligator arms. Hit the quarterback in physicality so he realizes I got jittery in this pocket. Now, because they protected the quarterback more so, the genius quarterbacks, the Bradys, the Rodgers, the old school, they laughing at this game. They like, man, I done went through hell. And now it's a smooth pavement. Oh, I'm about to light y'all up. And now, who's the next? Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes, obviously, etc. I think right now Kyler Murray is in that same conversation. Why? Just because of his growth. Say what you want about him. Is he there yet or not? Look at his growth. And don't use yesterday against the dude. First playoff game, and without your star receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, who was he supposed to throw the ball to? What did Giselle say? You can't throw it and catch it. I don't know who was out there for the Cardinals for him. Coming up, Joe Burrow is only in his second season. Talking about next. So far, how can he take the Bengals all the way to the Super Bowl? That's a conversation we'll have next on Speak for Yourself. As I butcher reads. Let's head to Cincinnati. Joe Burrow had a playoff debut to remember. The MVP candidate threw 2 touchdown passes and had a passer rating of 110 to help lead the Bengals to their first playoff win in 31 years. Next up is a road game on Saturday against the number 1 seeded Titans. So, Acho, how far can Joe Burrow take the Bengals?
Joe Burrow can get the Bengals to the Super Bowl, and which would wow a lot of people. But if you keep up with Joe Burrow's career, you should not be wowed. Joe Burrow, in his last 3 games, which are must-win, gotta-have-it games, which week 16, week 17, and the first round of the playoffs, gotta-have-it games. He has 405 passing yards a game. Damn. He has 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. He has a 76% completion percentage, and his passer rating, you all see that, 136. Gotta have it games against the Ravens, a good opponent, the Chiefs, a great opponent, and last week against the Raiders. Gotta have it, and Joe Burrow gives you his best. When you need Joe Burrow to be great, he is excellent. So I don't doubt what Joe Burrow can do. I don't doubt what these Bengals can do on offense. I do not doubt that Burrow can take the Bengals to the Super Bowl. Also, it helps that Joe Burrow's path is not as tough as it could have been. Had the Bengals beat the Browns in week 18 of the season when Joe Burrow sat, the Bengals would have moved up from their 4 seed to a 3 seed, which guarantees a matchup in the divisional round with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bengals are not fools. They knew that. Remember, the Chiefs played week 18 on Saturday. So the Bengals saw, oh, Chiefs already won, so we can't catch them. Titans end the season playing the Texans. Titans likely going to win that game. So Titans are locked into the 1. Chiefs are locked into the 2. We can beat the Browns and get the 3 seed, or Burrow can sit. We can lose to the Browns, get the 4 seed, and now we won't have to play the Chiefs until a championship game. Now we get a matchup in the divisional round versus the Titans, a very beatable team, particularly if Derrick Henry is not present or if he is pampered in some degree. Joe Burrow can take these Bengals to the Super Bowl. A little bit of fortune, a lot of bit of talent.
Okay. Super Bowl, ellipsis, right? Super Bowl, ... Next year? Year after? This year? SoFi? Hell no. No way, no how. Experience is going to come back to haunt them against the Tennessee Titans a couple years ago. This was a AFC Championship team. Look at the Tennessee Titans. They've just been taking their lumps. And you know how it goes in sports. For some reason, somehow, some way, you got to take your lumps. And last week against the Raiders, not enough lumps taken. Now they're going to get into a game against the number 1 seed that somehow, some way played as well or better without their best player who's now returning. That is a formula for disaster. Sorry, big dog, can't go there with you. And since you want to talk about Joe Burrow in his last do-or-die games, respect. Let's talk about the Bengals and Joe Burrow in their last road game. Remember the last time they played on the road? You got to go back to Thanksgiving. These dudes been protected, bruh. Thanksgiving game, week 15, they won. They beat the Denver Broncos, not a playoff team. And he had his second lowest passing yards this season, 157. Sounds like a Russian game for Derrick Henry. And just 1 passing touchdown. Joe Burrow's not that same guy as he was in week 15. You could just see it every single week. He is taking leaps and bounds. But the problem is you're going against the number 1 seeded Titans who are going to feel rejuvenated. 1, because they had rest, the bye week. But 2, you get King Henry back, bruh. This is a formula for disaster. I don't see Joe Burrow grabbing that resume, presenting it this weekend, and it actually getting him there.
And here's the thing, though, Sel. If you know anything about Burrow, and we all do, nothing new phases him. Burrow got beat out at Ohio State.
That phased him.
Got beat
Did
out.
that phase him? You get beat out and you tap out and you go somewhere else, transfer portal.
You go to LSU and you have the best season in the program's history.
That's how it turned out, but that wasn't the decision. You tapped out first before you got the result.
You can call it tapped out or made a wise decision. Like
you're right. It worked out.
Exactly. Either way, it worked out, but it worked out because he worked it out.
Because he was a backup.
It worked out because he worked it out at LSU.
Okay.
Now you get to the league. You go to a team that they haven't won a playoff game in 31 years or something like that, something outlandish.
Icky Woods.
And in your second season, you go out there and you not only take them to a playoffs, you win a game, something which Andy Dalton, and make fun of him as much as you will, but he got 3 or 4 Pro Bowls under his belt, and he went to 4 playoffs, something Andy Dalton and A.J. Green couldn't do. And you and Jamar Chase out here doing it in year 2.
Beast.
A.J. Green, mind you, was flirting with the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Andy Dalton was a dominant quarterback, particularly based upon his competition, because that was the Troy Polamalu Steelers when he got in there. That was the Ed Reed Ravens when he got in there. Andy was making noise like that. And Joe Burrow, you already doing this? I don't think he'll be phased. So if the games will be won and lost by the teams with the best quarterback, I think it's safe to trust Joe Burrow over Ryan Tannehill. Best way to get in football shape is by playing football.
Play that game.
Derrick Henry ain't played football in a long minute, big dog. I trust Derrick Henry, but I do not trust Ryan Tannehill more than I trust Joe Burrow. Burrow can get them past the Titans. The question is, will they meet your Bills or will they meet my Chiefs? But Burrow can get them past the Titans.
Hell no. They are the Arizona Cardinals. This is how they're going to look against Tennessee Titans. Like the Arizona Cardinals did, but unlike D-Hop, Jamar Chase is going to be there. So they're going to look like the Cardinals did because they didn't have D-Hop. And they're going to have Chase, but they're going to have a rookie, and they're going to have Joe Burrow in the second year. That ain't going to do it. Against Mike Vrabel, who has a 6-2 record against playoff teams, winning teams, boy, stop. Mike Vrabel ain't playing that. Coach of the year for me, Mike Vrabel. Look at this team. I got to ask you a question. Let's personalize right now. You got, how many cars you got now? Where you at? 17? Oh, 3? Oh, you down to 3? Downsizing? Yeah, pandemic. Okay, so you got 3. Gas, electric.
One is hybrid, the other 2 are gas.
So 3 gas, and then
hybrid-ish.
2.5 gas. Hybrid, what the hell is that? Okay, let's stay in the gas then. I was going to give you a Tesla example again, but let me go to the gas. Okay, have you ever run out of gas?
Oh, one time.
One time?
The worst.
I would like to hear your story before I shall give mine.
I'm going from Dallas to Austin, which is not good because I'm down Interstate 35, only 3 hours.
Yeah, about like 3 hours. You didn't fill up before you left?
No.
Broke ass.
No, here's the thing.
What?
It had a gauge. And so it's like, hey, you have 37 miles remaining until you have to fill up. I won't fill up until about 10, but I know, y'all know, bruh. You really go to 0, push about 4 or 5 miles, and you're still Gucci.
Yes.
So I know I at least have anywhere from 37 to 41 miles left. Bruh, it gets to 35, kicks out at me. I'm on the highway, and all of a sudden I'm hitting the accelerator, nothing. I pull to the side. I have to walk to the gas station, got the big red tube.
The big red.
Fill up the red joint.
Big red.
Put the red joint in the car, drive to the gas station, and fill it up.
Oh, man. Dang, that's gangster. And that's why I wanted you to give me that story so you can feel this take. It's really deceptive when you start to run out of gas, right? You start. Old school cars had the F at the top, and then they had all these little fake little dots and dashes and the little tank, and then it had that E at the bottom. And then, you know me, we used to fill up never. We didn't have that. We didn't have $35 just to spend on gas. So my mama used to go to this gas station, put $2.38 on number 5. And a pack of cigarettes. I was like, Mama, we can have $5 worth of gas. Said you stop smoking cigarettes. So here's the thing. So $2.38 on pump 5, right? And you right around E. Now, if you know when you at E, you know you still good about 5 miles down.
That's it.
Because it's a little peg under that E. When that thing lay on that peg, you better hope you already at the gas station or you're going to have to go get big red. Here's the problem with it. It's deceptive because you're now trying to guess when we're good and when we're not. And it happens fast. This is the problem with the Bengals, bro. Right now, you're like, okay, they still good. I think they on E. They think they still got 5 more miles. They think they got 1 more game in them. Shoo. They're going to be out there. Verbal, give me a big red. Fill us up. Well, Derrick Henry start pushing them. Coming up, Matthew Stafford has a playoff win on his resume now. Hip, hip, hooray. Tell you if he did enough to quiet the critics. That's next on Speak for Yourself.
Hey, that was good. Matthew Stafford had 3 total touchdowns in the Rams' dominant victory over the Cardinals last night. But he also had the fewest pass attempts and completions this season. Now, Stafford got his first playoff win in his 13-year career, and head coach Sean McVay said the moment was good, so the media did not have to talk about it anymore. Guess we ain't got to talk about it no more. Yet here we are. Talking about it.
Yep.
Did Matthew Stafford quiet his critics?
Nope, I'm still talking. Now, look, I ain't going to get up here yelling because congratulations, Matthew Stafford. You are now 1-3 in the playoffs. But I'm not going to be silenced. I'm not going to be quiet about Matthew Stafford, and I still have my own suspicions about Matthew Stafford, in part because of how Matthew Stafford played last night. That was a blowout. That wasn't evenly matched. Looking at that offense, especially for Arizona, Kyler Murray without DeAndre Hopkins, not fair. Going against that Rams defense in that environment and the fact that the Rams do have a potent offense, not evenly matched. But hey, eat the food that's in front of you, right? Respect to Matthew Stafford and the Rams. But, you start to dive into the details and like you said, fewest completions, fewest attempts for Matthew Stafford last night of the season. Second fewest passing yards for Matthew Stafford last night. As you said before, and I'm sure you're going to say it again, well, they were blowing them out at halftime. Well, it's not the only game that the Rams have had a blowout, but it was the first playoff game for McVay and Stafford. And this is where psychologically, I think Matthew Stafford suffers. Even Sean McVay, who used to be in the headset of Jared Goff, I used to call plays into the NFL, cut his headset off. Hey, look out for the... What'd you say? Jared Goff never was restricted to the point where he had a governor on the vehicle that said, throw it only 17 times. Think about it. Jared Goff, 6 playoff games with Sean McVay. Never did he ever say, throw it as few as 17 times. Matter of fact, the first time he went out there, hey, look out for the cover 2. He threw it 45 times in his first playoff game. Another game with 40, some in the 30s, 20s. Never, ever 17. That's telling to me if you're looking at Sean McVay. Now, all of that said, I wonder what Matthew Stafford's going to do this week, because this will be evenly matched. This will be a real formidable opponent. You're going against the Super Bowl champions. You guys played them earlier in the season. You beat them. Respect to that. They're different. You're different. But more importantly, they're going to need a lot more out of you, Matthew Stafford, than what you showed last night. And more importantly, in just production, that's fine because you're blowing them out. But in trust, I'm not so certain Sean McVay trusts them enough.
Man, Matthew Stafford silenced his critics. And so at this point, I would believe Matthew Stafford's actually playing with house money on this season. Why do I say that? You have the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Do you have the Bucs winning the Super Bowl, or you just have them in it?
Bills over Bucs.
Either way, so you have the Bucs in the Super Bowl, which means losing to the Bucs is a respectable loss. Whether it's the Bills in the Super Bowl, whether it's the Packers, who you would thus have losing to the Bucs in the NFC Championship game, losing to the Bucs is a respectable loss. Marcellus Wiley, nor the majority of America, really will fault a team if you lose to the Bucs. So then Matthew Stafford has done this season everything we've hoped and expected him to do. The Rams got to the playoffs. The Rams hosted a playoff game. The Rams won a playoff game. Even if he were to lose right now, he's losing to a Bucs team. Sal's not going to get up here and be mad at him next week if he loses to the Bucs, because Marcellus, you anticipated he lose to the Bucs. I ain't going to be mad if you lose to the Bucs, because the Bucs are a reigning Super Bowl champ with Tom Brady that returned all 22 of their starters. Obviously, some are now injured and some have departed. So losing to the Bucs is expected, anticipated, and respected. So Stafford has quieted the critics because he did every single thing we he did every single thing we expected him to do.
Yeah.
Now, anything he does from here on out, that's house money, big dog. I'm going to take my profits, and if I win, if I lose, great. Going to the casino, my favorite thing in life is when I get to put chips back in my pocket.
My dog.
I go to casino, say you take out $1,000. You convert them into 10 black chips. Great. As soon as you can start playing, and put 10 black chips in your pocket, that always signifies this is the money you came in with.
Okay.
Anything I win from here on out is house money. It's they money. Because I got my money back in my pocket.
Ooh.
Matthew Stafford is now playing with house money.
Oh, is he?
He's put his respect, his figurative money back in his pocket. Playoff win? Check.
Yeah.
Host of the Super Bowl, host of the playoff game? Check. If we lose to the Bucs, respectable loss. House money from here on out. Critics are quiet.
You put a lot of words in my mouth that I'm not going to say. Tomorrow, Sale ain't going to come up here. Marcellus ain't. Yes, he is. Hell yeah. He's not playing with house money just yet. And matter of fact, he's never going to play with house money. He has to get that mansion money. And I'm not talking about a normal house. Jared Goff took him to a Super Bowl. And let's not move the goalposts now, because all of a sudden Matthew Stafford's likable. All of a sudden Matthew Stafford's our quarterback. He's here to stay, so let's be patient with him. Oh, no. He's a veteran. He's a guy who was now in his fourth playoff game and finally got his first win. We're not going to move the goalposts backwards and say, oh, it's okay for young Jared Goff to take us to a Super Bowl. But with the same roster, if not better roster, Odell Beckham Jr., now we got Von Miller, better roster, you can do less. That's not even house money, certainly not mansion money, and certainly not what Jared Goff was equipped to do. If you can't do more than Jared Goff, why in the hell we get rid of Jared Goff? Cho, you started with a premise that I think you need to re-examine.
Talk to me.
You said we can't be mad at him because you expected him to lose in the first place. Yeah, you can. I'm going to give you an example of when you can anticipate something and still be mad that it actually occurred. Like, I can anticipate the Rams going to lose to the Bucs because I think the Bucs are better, and still be mad at the Rams and Matthew Stafford for losing. Give it to you like this. You got cameras in your house?
Yes, sir.
You do? My dog.
I got to.
Hey, L.A., for real. You better. Inside, outside, on your body, you better have cameras everywhere, right? So you got cameras in the house. And me, I look at them periodically, here and there, once every couple of days. My wife, she on them right now, all day, every day. So sometimes when I want attention from my wife, I got to actually watch the cameras with her, because the only time she going to pay attention to me when we watching the same thing. So we're looking at the cameras, and here go MJ. MJ has a clock in his room that lights up green at 6:30. That means it's time to get up and get dressed. But MJ is like, look, if daddy or mommy ain't in here, me really, by 6:30, oh, I'm about to hit these Legos and hit them hard. I ain't getting dressed. Now, here's the thing. I anticipate every morning, because I'm up before 6:30. I'm looking at the camera, looking at MJ. Here he go. That like, boom, green. Yeah. He hitting the stairs. All of a sudden, I walk out of the bedroom with MJ. I anticipate him doing something. And I still am sitting there like, boy, I got criticism for him. But he's 6. Matthew Stafford, you a vet. This criticism ain't going to stay internal. It's coming out. I anticipate them losing, and I anticipate that this was not the proper move if Matthew Stafford cannot show me in results more than what Jared Goff did.
But if Matthew Stafford, he can show me in results himself, but not necessarily by team. What do I mean? We were not sitting here criticizing Derek Carr when they lost to the Bengals, because we were kind of like, you know what? We anticipated that. We weren't criticizing Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers when they lost to the Chiefs.
Nope.
We anticipated that. We didn't really criticize the Patriots when they lost to the Bills. We criticized how bad it was, but not that it happened, because we anticipated that. Cardinals, we called them out, but we have called them out all season long. So we only said that, can you really win with them? But I ain't come on this show and been like, how dare? No, because we anticipated that. Who have we criticized? The Cowboys. And not necessarily me, because I anticipated it, but we criticized Dak Prescott in his performance because what we expected, he underdelivered. We're not going to criticize, at least I will not, and the majority of the world, based on what we've seen, based on the first round of the playoffs, will not, if Stafford loses, because they're supposed to lose. Now, I got the Rams in the Super Bowl.
I was about to say, you better start telling the truth up here.
I got them in the Super Bowl. I hope that they will win.
Nope, you did the last break. Hope ain't enough. I don't want to hear hope. You just said that. So now here again.
I hope they will win. I don't actually think. If I was going to bet the game, which I'm not.
Wait a minute.
I would not bet on the Rams winning.
A gambling man wouldn't bet, but he hopes.
I rolled my dice on the Rams winning, and I'm sticking with it because I think they're going to win an odds.
Your Super Bowl prediction was you saying that the Rams were going to be in the Super Bowl. And now we're in the moment where they can actually make the Super Bowl, and you're going to say you didn't really mean it?
I wouldn't put money on it. I put my show on. I told you. I put the show on.
So this ain't real to you. You just up here just saying anything. Okay, telling yourself, big dog. And it's funny that you predicted that the Rams would be in the Super Bowl, representing the NFC. And then when the Cardinals lost, you didn't care. When the Raiders lost, you didn't care about the quarterback. When the Pats lost, you didn't care. When the Steelers lost, you didn't care, but you cared when the Cowboys. You know why the Cowboys? Because they got a Super Bowl roster. And as you always say, they need to win right now. Well, I'm looking at the Rams the same damn way. And you know who else is? Leslie Snead. You know who else is? Sean McVay. You know who else is? Every Rams fan out there. We need to win right now to the tune of they sent Jared Goff on the one-way to Detroit and said, Matthew, we'll move up, give picks, all that stuff, give it all away for you. If they don't win right now, Acho, it's more than just they doing it for show. They doing it for dough. You need to put your money where your mouth is. Coming up, it's on the next season in Dallas after Sunday's loss. I'll call it that. I'm going to tell you if this year was actually a success for the Cowboys. That's next on Spring for Yourself. The Cowboys went 12-5 in the regular season and won the NFC East with ease. But they lost Sunday to the 49ers in dramatic fashion. Yup. Dak Prescott is now 1-3 in playoff games, and the Cowboys were the only home team to lose in the wild card round. So, Acho, was the Cowboys season a success?
The Cowboys season was a total success for 4 players. Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. You could throw the Pro Bowler, the All-Pro punter in there as well. It was a successful season, the Dallas Cowboys was, for 4 players. Why? Because when all is said and done, the only players who can still brag about this past season were Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. Zach Martin, Tyron Smith continued to solidify their Hall of Fame careers. Trayvon Diggs, most interceptions in the last 30 years. Micah Parsons, as a rookie, All-Pro, and he flirted with breaking the rookie sack record. Those players still have something to brag about, but nobody else does. In 10, 5, maybe 2 years from now, no one will ask, hey, were you on that 12-win Cowboys team? No one will ask, hey, did you go to the playoffs and lose to the Niners? No. People might ask, yo, were you an All-Pro? Were you a Pro Bowler? People will ask Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, yo, you going to be first ballot? But no one will talk about the meaningless wins because that's exactly what they are at this junction in time, meaningless. In football, not all games are created equal, particularly retroactively. Nobody asked me about my college career, remember, playing at Texas. Hey, Acho, how many games did you win? No. They asked me, did you play in a national championship? To which I say, yes, we lost. They asked me, hey, what was your record versus your rival, Oklahoma? I say 2-2. They asked me, did you ever play A&M? Yeah, I played in the last game versus A&M. Oh, did you win? They don't ask me, hey, what'd you go your freshman year? What'd you go your sophomore year? There are only certain meaning in certain games. And in the NFL, only certain things have meaning. Individual statistics. Were you an All-Pro? Were you a Hall of Famer? Were you a Pro Bowler? Collective statistics. Did you go to a Super Bowl? So the Cowboys season was not a success for anyone else except for those 4 players, 5 if you include the punter, Brian Anger, except for those 4 players that had individual statistics that no one can ever take from them.
All right.
For everyone else, it was truly a waste, and they was just out there running and jumping.
And getting hit. And getting punched in the mouth in the phone booth. Oh, my God. Let's go prototypical broadcaster up here. You know damn well it was a success, but let me not be so antagonistic. Let me come up here and not be so contentious. Let me just come up here and have a real gentleman conversation with my dog. Define success. It seemed, at least in common, a lot of your success was defined by what people are going to ask you retroactively. What do other people care about? I wonder if that's how we should define success. Certainly, I don't define success by what you think about what the hell I did. I don't even think success is based on what you sign up for. I think it's based on the results, individual results, and then we can extract those into a collective result. But be careful how far you want to extract it in terms of collective result by defining success. Why? Is it wins and losses? No, because you said people don't really care how many games you win and lost. All right, I'll take your word for it. Is it Super Bowl or bust? Is it championship or bust? I hope not, because that means Dan Marino was never a successful quarterback. Okay, so no. He at least made it to a Super Bowl. Okay, well then that means Barry Sanders was not a successful running back. What do you mean? He never made it to a Super Bowl. So wait. So it's not wins and losses. It's not championship or bust. It's not if you made it to the Super Bowl or not. You know what it is? Damn it. Am I getting better at something? Am I building something here? Am I really on a mission?
Are we talking about MJ or are we talking about the Cowboys, Marcellus Wiley? We talking about 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds? Or are we talking about grown men?
The world is round for a reason. It all connects. It all goes together. Yeah, I don't talk to him like that. So, you better make it. Do better than me. Now, all respect to those who deem it success. Look, in my years, I played 10 years. I thought I had a successful career, but let's dive deeper than that. It wasn't as successful as I thought it was going to be. Especially when I was at the top of the mountain, I started to get relaxed out in terms of like, I'm going to be up here for a minute. Oh, no, you got up there? You went down there. It depends on what you define it as. Did I improve every time I was out there? For a few years, about 5 years, 6 years. Then I was like, yeah. But I define it, not you, not y'all, because what is the objective measure you're going to define it as? Not championship or bust, not Super Bowl appearance or bust, and not even wins and losses. Please, Acho, define success.
We're going to go nuance. We might need nuance. Nuance. Improvement is only important if you acquire the ultimate objective.
No, it's not.
It is.
Stop that.
If you want to continue to improve as a player, you don't want to improve for improving's sake. When I was in the NFL, I wanted to improve, but I wanted to improve so I could make a team. I wanted to improve so I could start. I want to improve so I can help a team. I don't just want to lay in bed at night like, I got cut. I didn't make a team. I'm unemployed, but boy, did I improve today.
Yeah.
Improvement only matters so you can acquire whatever it is you set out
ultimate goal. Yes. But what is the ultimate goal?
So it depends. For me, at least individually, Trayvon Diggs, he achieved his ultimate goal individually. Can't get no better than being a first-team All-Pro. Michael Parsons, can't get no better individually than being a first-team All-Pro. Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, can't get no better than being a Hall of Famer. At this junction in their lives, they now solidifying Hall of Fame careers. So individually, they can all hang their hats on something. Improvement mattered for them because Trayvon Diggs, his improvement materialized into something individually at minimum.
Oh, careful.
But the Cowboys' improvement, it didn't materialize into anything. It materialized into another loss. Now, if we look back in a year and say, well, the Cowboys improved from 2020 to 2021, and that improvement got them to a Super Bowl in 2022, sure. But improvement means nothing if you just come, go, and get fired. Jason Garrett improved. He was 8-8 one year, then he was 13-3 in 2016. Before 2016 and 2015, I believe the Cowboys only had 2 wins. 2 wins in 2015, Tony Romo got hurt. Then 13 wins in 20, he improved. But if improvement never materializes into an ultimate goal, then at the end of the day, you've improved, but for what? You want to improve so you can attain something, not to improve just for improvement's sake.
Okay, I respect that, except can you not improve and still be successful?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I'm about to say, Trayvon Diggs, good luck getting more than 11 interceptions. So then it goes from numbers, objective measures, to impact, which is not so objective, but we can feel it, right? So that's the same thing I'm saying about the Cowboys in totality as a whole. Does it have to be objective? Does it have to be Super Bowl or not? Because if so, there have been so many Hall of Famers. I always use Dan Marino because he was tremendous that weren't successful. Dare you say that? You know that's not the case.
But the Hall of Fame makes him successful.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well then.
His individual statistics make him successful.
Okay, so then you can use accolades, right?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so Dak Prescott, when he made the Pro Bowl, that's a successful season. You don't make the Pro Bowl, not a successful season. Now we're into the nuance, which means define success. For me, and we haven't even brought it up, more important than all of this was money. Dog. Okay. I remember when, I'm going to say it again, Shannon Sharp was dragging me through the mud my rookie year playing against the Denver Broncos. Remember, they won back-to-back. They were some dogs. Terrell Davis, Shannon Sharp, dog, name a better offense than that with a tripod right now. John Elway, Terrell Davis, and Shannon Sharp was out there tilting. Anyway, he holding me. He couldn't block me for real. I was young. You know, I had them young bones. But Shannon Sharp has just been a vet. Hey, young boy, you know in this game there's only two things you take away from it. M&M's, money and memories. So to me, a successful career has to involve what did you do in your career? Career earnings. We ain't even going to talk about that because fans don't want to hear about that. But what do you take away from the game? Do you take Pro Bowls with you? I got one. You can have it. Can't have that contract, though. Coming up, there's a lot of uncertainty with the Raiders right now. We'll tell you if they should blow it up completely. Kaboom! Next, don't speak for yourself. Interesting.
A number of dominoes are falling in Las Vegas after the Raiders lost to the Bengals. General manager Mike Mayock fired yesterday, and the team has begun their head coaching search with interim coach Rich Bisaccia still in the mix. Now, Derek Carr's future is also in question with a possible extension. Dell, so the Raiders blow it up completely. Now, before we get there.
Yeah. Say his name again.
Bisaccia. If you move that S, things get real dicey.
Yeah, right.
If you move that Bisaccia and if that S is not present,
right,
things get real complex in your pronunciation.
I heard you go through it. I was like, I'm glad I'm not reading this one. Boy, I like some tacos with ketchup with my Bisaccia. I don't know. It just sounds weird. Okay, respect to him and what he did as an interim head coach. And when did he become an interim head coach? When did racism end in Las Vegas? Oh, I need to stop. Week 6, right? 7-5 since week 6. Respect. That's the same record as the Buffalo Bills over that span. Should they blow it up completely? There are arguments for both sides, and I'm going to make both. You look at some of the team leaders, especially Derek Carr, going out there and saying, we want to keep him. Here's the problem with keeping an interim head coach. Even though this interim head coach went out there and took his team to the playoffs, we haven't seen that in the NFL for 60 years. Here's the problem. I don't know about you, Acho. You look like you're in better shape than me. Barely, but in better shape. Probably just because you're younger. Barely, but in better shape. Okay. I've got a bag of Cheetos. You ever want a couple at, you know what I'm saying? Oh, let me get a couple of them Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? Here's the problem. Interim head coaches is like getting some of your boys' Cheetos. You get a couple, you're like, all right. Let me go to the store and get me my own bag. It never smacks the same as your boys' few.
It don't.
Right? Interim head coaches come in, they get that pop, you get that breath of fresh air, you sitting there like, yeah. And then next year, you got a whole off season with this dude, and you start to realize, and I hate to take shots, maybe there's some holes in his game to the point where he wasn't the head coach in the first place. I don't know, but interim head coaches converting to head coaches doesn't really turn out so well. Be careful if those not your chips.
I love with everything in me that take, because they chips always hit better than your own bag. I don't know why.
I don't know.
But no, the Raiders should not blow it up, and the Raiders should retain Rich Bisaccia. Here is why, and it is very simple. 98 have tried, and no one has succeeded.
Damn.
Since 1962, there have been 98 interim head coaches, and no one has gotten their team to the playoffs except Rich Bisaccia. So if you, in the middle of taking over halfway through the season, a coach who gets fired for misogyny and racism, a first-round pick who is in a car crash that leaves someone dead, a first-round pick who is waving guns on social media and thus he gets fired, and you can rally the troops, rally your quarterback, rally your team in a city nicknamed Sin City and get them to the playoffs, imagine what you can do with a season without distractions. A season filled with distractions in a city nicknamed the Sin, and you still got them to the playoffs. Give me a whole season without the chaos, without the crazy, and let me show you just what I can do. Bisaccia can lead this team far if they give him a chance, so.
Good point. Raiders have had 10 head coaches in the last 19 seasons, and only Bisaccia and my man Jack Del Rio took them to the playoffs. And a lot of people said they shouldn't have fired Jack Del Rio. Interesting. Let me get my tacos now. Coming up, Matthew Stafford finally won a playoff game. Yay! We'll tell you if the Rams quarterback is keeping 100 with his reaction or just 99. Next, so speak for yourself.
I took out that S and I was like, Bisaccia.
That or on this show, we only know how to keep it 100, but others, they only keep it 99. Each day, we're going to get to the bottom of who's really telling the truth. Case in point, Matthew Stafford got his first playoff win after 13 seasons in the NFL. After the game, he decided to deflect the credit. Take a listen.
I think it means a lot more to, you guys and all that. I just want to be a part of this team and help us win. So I trust in myself, trust in my abilities, trust in my teammates. Go out there and play and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, Ancho, Matthew Stafford in that mugshot. I'm sorry, keeping it 100 or keeping it 99?
Keeping it 100. We got to put it in context. It's easy to say that, money means a lot more to you once you get money. But when you ain't have money, money meant everything to you. It's very easy for Matthew Stafford, now that he has a playoff win, to be like, I think that playoff win means a lot more to you guys than it does to me. Now that you got it, don't front Matthew Stafford. It used to mean a lot.
Damn, you dropped the deepness on that one. That was really good, but I caught that pause. And he said, you guys. That means he had to finally just swallow. I got mine. Now he gonna put it on us. He ain't gotta lie. You kept it 99. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll say his name again. Bisaccia.